So this pool of water you see here is from it's the drain coming out of the house from the sink. It's a sink only. What's happening is all the grease that gets thrown down the sink, it starts to build up in your pipes. This just goes out to one lateral line. So we're gonna try and fix this. So the solution to the problem is we're gonna build a small grease trap. I could have used a 5-gallon bucket, you know, or maybe a water meter enclosure, but we're gonna go ahead and build. I'm just gonna go ahead and build it out of concrete. It's gonna be a small concrete, like a grease trap tank, just where we can maybe go in there about every 6 months, and with a shovel big enough where you can get a shovel in there to scoop out all the grease, throw it in a bag, and you know, you can get rid of it. But we're gonna use this scrap wood I have here. It's scrap wood, plywood, but this is the size I'm gonna go with is maybe the 30 inches in length and maybe around 2 feet wide. I have my first cut here. I'm gonna use the straight edge as a straight edge to cut the first board with the skill saw. So it's gonna be at 30, but I have it 1.25 inches. That's the distance I need for my saw to cut it at 30 inches. So now I'll make my 2 cuts. The width of the tank, I'm gonna go with the 16-inch width, which is here. Instead of freehand cutting it, so now I'll make my 2 cuts to cut the width of the form that we're building. We're gonna cut them at 16 inches, which is here, and then I'll add 1.25 inches, and I'll put my guide at that 1.25 inches. So I'm using some T20 wood screws. That's small enough for this plywood. So I'm going to start off by screwing the L in, and then I'll box it up. It doesn't have to be too perfect. I mean, it's just a form for concrete. I think I'm just gonna leave it in place. If I can get it out, I'll get it out. If not, I'll leave it in there. All right, so I got it pretty much rectangular. Got it all screwed in place. If you're working on if you have a flat surface to work on, that's better. So remember, we're pouring concrete. We're gonna pour concrete. We're making a form, so now we have to make an outer form. Probably gonna go about maybe 2.5 inches, 3 inches. We'll see. All right, so I'm gonna go with about a 3-inch thickness on the wall. So on the outside casing, I'm gonna cut my 2 links at 37 inches, and then the width, the cross links are gonna be 23.5 inches. So I'll get those cut right now. All right, the next step, I have the outside form. It's gonna be a basic position where it's gonna end up. That will allow me to fill this whole cavity here with concrete cement. A tip when you're building the outside frame, always pay attention if you're gonna screw this board to the outside or the inside, because if you put it on the outside, it's gonna throw off your dimensions. So keep that in mind.